And we're live. Yes, good afternoon. It's 4:45 here in Holland. This camera makes this look weird. Anyway, how are you guys? Please let me know if you have anything to tell me or ask or anything else. Hey Owen, good evening. I think I just replied to your Facebook post. Right. Well, tonight, this afternoon, it's not night at all. We're going to do something special. I will close down the music, which is building a new revision of the Pro 1 interface. It doesn't do anything new, unfortunately, but it will give me more opportunity to keep producing this interface since there are more parts that are getting hard to obtain. And that's too bad because I want to keep it going because loads of people want one. Mark, good afternoon. I'm going to explain what you see on the camera at this moment in a second. First, let me check if I did everything correctly. Yeah, I think so. People are responding, so that's good. There are, I don't know, the YouTube studio is a mess. It doesn't show at all how many people are actually watching in any correct way, because a second ago it was like 10 people, now it's 2. I have no idea what it's doing, and everybody's complaining about YouTube Studio. It will never work, I guess. Anyway, we're here, and that's good for me. Alright, so let's get to the right. I'm going to shut down the music. We don't need it now. I hope everything is silent enough. No more whistle, hum or something in the microphone. That should be gone. Let me explain what you see here. This is a keychain. I printed this morning in a slightly lower temperature, so this looks a lot better than the previous one I printed, because when you put it too hot you get some, it looks burnt, and it actually is kind of burnt. But anyway, that's just for a side note. Hey Ben, good afternoon. So this is a new revision, and maybe I can show them both, and this doesn't work. Let me do this way then. Maybe you can tell me what is different about this board. The underneath one is bad, because I will show you in a second what's bad on that board. You will clearly see it. There are 2, maybe 3 things that are clearly different from these boards. Hey Stuart and Cathers, and maybe I should just tell it. So for one, this is gold plated. This one is not, because I just ordered a test batch, and these are just lead-free finished, I think. And so this one is gold plates, which is important for the contacts here. It is not really necessary, but it's better. You get less trouble with gold plating finish. Another difference is the revision of the board, but I don't think you can see it from this distance, and I didn't put autofocus on, but here it says 2022.1. This one says 2017.3. So this version is already 5 years old. 4 years and something. So there wasn't really a need for updating it, except for that this ROM chip is now really hard to obtain. So what I did is I added another chip. I said quarter to 5. So I added this version of the ROM chip here, and it just fitted on the board. You can see it's in between some very tiny parts surrounding it, but it didn't move anything, which is important because of the case that I use, and obviously also the configuration of the pick and place machine for this board. So I do not have to change any of that. I just need to test if this board works, and then I can order a batch of these ones. Now this chip isn't really common, this version of the ROM chip, and that's because this is a TSOP package, and the normal one is an SOIC package, small outline, and this is I don't know what TSOP stands for, but anyway, This isn't that common, but I found some. I have more at another place, so I've got a couple of these batches, and that was these were the only ones that I could obtain for a reasonable price. I hope I can find more, because if this board works, I really hope to order 200 of these boards, for example, and use more of these, because these are cheaper at the moment, and the other ones are being made. Farnell, for example, has them in stock, but they are really expensive. So I paid less than €1 in the past, and now I have to pay €6 for each, which is dramatic if you ask me. It's really high, and there's nothing I can do about it, because loads of people need these for all kinds of projects, and if all the stock has depleted, and then it will be hard. And one thing I should tell as well, and I already tried to discuss that on a forum, is that I found loads of those SOIC versions. So you can see I have a really huge amount of these which doesn't work correctly, which do not work correctly. And the problem, I think, is that these are blacktop and remarked as a AT28C64B, but I think they're actually not the B type, but the the normal type, which have a different way of flashing the chip. And the software that I use to flash these chips here on the working boards, the working chips, I mean, cannot cope properly with these chips. They do work if I flash them on a universal programmer, but the thing is that we are able to update the ROM on this on this Pro 1 DiffMC interface, and if I would use these ones, then people will have troubles updating them later, and I don't want it. So I take the loss for myself. Maybe I can use them for projects with a ROM that doesn't need to be changed later on, for example. So that's why I keep them, but I won't use them on DiffMC interfaces. So I have a lot of these ones, and I also tried to ask on the ESXtos forum if it would be easy enough to change the programming tool to work with the so-called bad ones. They probably work, but not as the B type. If we could adapt the software, then maybe we can still use those chips, but we'll see. I will respond to the questions in just a second. So what I want to do is see if we can get this board working, and the main question that if it works is that it's completely differently routed. I didn't route these manually, this board. I did route this board by hand. Took me 3 days in 2016, and at the end of that year, or 2017, I don't know. And anyway, but this one has been done by the auto router of Eagle, which is now from Autodesk, I think. I think so. And previously it couldn't route this board automatically, but with the design rules that I now load up from JLC PCB, for example, it can do it. So it probably means that the modern PCB manufacturers can work with narrower tracks, and also the tracks closer to each other. And as long as it works and it doesn't introduce new instability or something, then this will be fine. So I'm really curious if it works. We'll see about it. Well, let's get to this board. Why does it say bad board? It's very easy. You can see it here. I didn't do this. So I guess some machine accidentally, but this doesn't look accidental, don't you think? It looks like there was some testing done on this specific board, and they accidentally added it to my batch that I ordered. I ordered these by hundreds, so. And I already had on a pick-and-place machine. I was already soldering some parts on, and I didn't notice this before when I was soldering the connector on. That's what you get if you do this almost without thinking. But obviously this board doesn't work because there are almost complete holes in it. So I don't see holes at the front, at the top side, but this is damaged quite significantly, so this doesn't work at all. So I'm going to just remove the parts from this one and use it as a donor for the other board. And of course I can use new parts. These are new parts of course, so it doesn't matter if I use this or new parts, but it's easier because I just have to put them on that board, and that's the reason I'm going to use this donor board for now. And then I need to solder on the edge connector and flash the chips and see if it works. That's what we're going to do first. After that I have plenty of repairs. I have less than an hour remaining. Oh, time flies, man. But I've got loads of repairs. I think I want to start with getting some issue 6A boards, 48K boards, original boards up and running. There's one customer that needs one, and then I have a 6 or 7 repairs for people, including toast rack boards, 48K boards, interfaces, and more stuff. But I will see what I can do in the next hour, and after that I will most probably, oh well, the other thing I can tell you is yesterday I finished the bookkeeping for last quarter, and there isn't anything withholding me now from doing repairs mainly, except for things like getting production done for example, ZXHDs here. So this is my IKEA box of ZXHD parts, as you can see. That's how I do it. I mostly buy 5, sometimes like by the 10. And I think tomorrow or otherwise Monday, I need to produce more Pro 1 interfaces. So this one here, but then maybe the old board, because I still have I don't know how many. I still have a bag full of working ROM chips, the SOIC version. So I need to do them on the pick and place machine, otherwise it will take too much time, and I do them by 50 or 100. We'll see what I can do in a day. But I think it would be good if I to do repairs this afternoon and tomorrow, because I have the time for it now, and we'll do the production of the Pro 1 probably Monday then. And that's it mainly. I just did finish some Harlequin kits at the other side of the room here, and we can just get it going. Let me check the chat. Rolf, good afternoon. David, good afternoon. Jean-Claude, hello. And I think, yes, I think I got out everyone in the chat at this moment. Sweden. I don't know what it means. Let me check. I want to know what it means. Let me translate it. I got some more displays. I'm looking up these days. I got plenty of displays here. I'm lagging behind with what? All right. What is an oopsie? Oh, the board, I guess. Beckman Spectrum. Did I see that, Mark? Did you post it on Facebook, the Beckman Spectrum? I don't remember. I'm curious. Right, so I'm going to put on the hot air machine. I hope you don't hear too much from that. And I need some cardboard, because otherwise my rubber mat will get too hot. Let me check here. Yeah, that's a nice piece. Oh. Right, so let's do some donor work. Tonight I'm a doctor. I'm to do an operation here. Let me see if I can improve the camera a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I think this is better. Alright, if you want me to zoom in or something, I can click on a button and it will zoom in. Alright, power on. Got some better lighting now. And let's get the hot air. It's really hot. Right, and move all the parts. And I think I will get the larger parts off first, so I can easily get the smaller parts off as well. Again, I can use new parts as well, but this is what I had in mind for now. If you don't like it, just don't watch the video. No, just joking. You must not watch this video. Come on. Nah, I don't like to swipe. Anyway, I dragged some SMD parts as well, but doesn't matter really. Next part. Maybe you think this will get too hot, but it won't, because imagine that in an oven it will get up to, what is it, 250 degrees or hotter, I don't know, 235 or something like that, so this is not too much. These parts can handle the heat. The hot air gun is now at just over 300 degrees Celsius. But I only try to aim at the pins, the pads, so nothing else will get too hot. And from my left there's some air flowing, so it will cool down very quickly. Oop. I did some sporting this afternoon, early in the afternoon, and it was too long ago that I did it last time, because some muscles didn't cooperate that well today. Anyway, I will not get old. I will stay young. So next week I'm going to do it again. Alright, 2 more big SMD parts and then we can get to the smaller ones. Maybe I need a tweezer for that. Yeah, I think I need a tweezer. Because there's some wind blowing from the left, it's hard to heat up all the pins at the same time. I think I will change the fan. It's a small ventilator now, and I want to have a bigger one for better airflow. Slower and better airflow. But this works. That was the last big one, and now we're going to get some tweezers. I think I will try these ones. I will check the chat in a second. First, let's start with getting these parts to the other board. Maybe I will buy a magnifying glass later on, or a magnifier, microscope. That's what I was looking for, the word, because I think that will work better than this, doing it this way. The parts are going all over the place, and that's not what I wanted. But anyway, it doesn't stick. You see. Doesn't stick at all, so we'll use some new solder in a second. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. So this is for SMD specifically, and also for for through-hole parts. This is not the best way of doing it. You just need to remove all the solder first. But for SMD, this is fine. I think I will just move them first, because this one is not very easy without having solder on the board already, so we'll just move the parts first and we'll solder them on later then. Oh, that's not drop anything. Oh, okay, this chip didn't survive. So I got one LED that broke. We'll sort it later on, the green one. I think we're almost there. We got most parts. I think 6 or 7 more, then we're done here. That's the voltage regulator. Makes 3.3 volts out of 5 volts. Very efficient. Not too expensive. Alright. Only 3 transistors remaining. Or actually 2 transistors and an analog switch. Very useful part, the analog switch. Can do nice things with it. Right, I think we got all the small parts off, so I can remove the hot air gun now. Is it hot? And we'll put them back with another tweezer, which I like more. Let me check the chat. Hey Peter, good afternoon. Rolf, good afternoon. Wayne, nice to see you. Let me check. Oh my god, loads of posts. Let me see if I can click on that. Okay, I have the Beckman Innovation Spectrum in front of me. Oh, and I got a special faceplate. Hey, that's cool. But it doesn't seem to be much different. Get it on a label at the back. Maybe a different serial number. Oh, it got even got another ROM. Wow. Cool. Looks like there's some toast rack stuff in it, like the test screen. Nice. And it's a revision. Is it a 6A? I think so. 6A board, I think. Switchable ROM. Cool. Nice. Nice one. Nice board. Is it really 6A or is it something else? I can't see it properly. Maybe from this angle. Looks like a 6A. I can tell. Maybe you can tell. Right, nice one. Okay. Nice. How big is your television, David? Tell me. Let me check. Am I missing anyone? Franco, good afternoon. Thank you, Mark. And I think I got everyone. Maybe it are... No. Nice. Well, Mark, I'm not a collector. You know that. I just like to build stuff. Okay. Now let's get to the soldering part. I'm going to use just leaded solder, which is easiest for now. First, get some pads done. 350 degrees, that's not hot enough. Okay, it's good enough. Alright, we'll use the hot air gun in a second. For some parts, not all parts, but some. And then we're not going to use the ROM chip that was on this one, but we're going to use one of the new chips. This doesn't need to be done this way. It's stupid. Alright. I think I will do it this way. I think it's easier than doing them one by one. So get away, you. Oh. Get away, you. Just so tiny, so I'm going to just pre-solder all the pins and then use the hot air gun in a second to get them on the board correctly. And with a new green LED in a second. Right. Okay. Now this will just take a second because there are not too many parts on this board. Oh. One. Someone was talking about Louis Rosman last week, that this looks like the retro Louis Rosman. I find it a compliment, and it looks like a lot like what he does, but not on Apple computers. And obviously this is not a computer, this is just an interface. Alright. Okay, most of the underside is done. I will use some flux in a second to get the contacts nice and spread out. Oh. Okay. What is this doing here? Oh, I think I opened a box yesterday, something. Alright. 10K, 100 nanofarads, then another 270 ohms. Oh. Yep. This is another 270, then we have a 110K here. Okay, so again this is a first one of a new revision of the Pro 1 interface that now carries a placeholder for another kind of APROM chip. EPROM is it in English? Oh. Nah, come on. Keeps moving. Now it's upside down. Come on. Getting messy. Right. We'll sort it out later. I will now get a green LED. Yeah, doesn't fit. Yeah. Right. And although I could just solder on everything, it's not really needed because I just want to see if it boots up. So for example, I won't solder on the joystick ports now, we'll do that later. Just want to know if this board works, functions. I hope the cable's not good for the camera. Okay, let me get the chips on the board. That's one. Oh, I made a mistake. It should go on this way. And eyeballing with good vision is still doable. Hope it will stay that way. This is the SRAM chip. If it does not work, the machine won't boot up at all. And this is the joystick interface. I will put it on because otherwise I cannot flash the chips, but it's not necessary for what I want to test right now. So this is what I do to make it still possible to produce these interfaces, to continue them. Otherwise it will get a problem later on. Some nice drag soldering. I've got some dedicated videos about drag soldering and people like to watch them because if you've never done it, it might seem scary, but it's really not that hard. Just try it. You will mess up the first times, but just use a solder wick and try again. And this chip has been used, so it's kind of hard, but you want to get the solder everywhere on the beds, and it's almost done. Alright, joystick tip. It's easier. And I will remove the flux remainders with some IPA later on. That looks pretty nice. I think if you don't know, you cannot tell that this was done by hand. But you know, because you've seen it here. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, let's do these parts here first. So we can get over to the hot air gun again. Oh, too hot. That's what you get if the center pin is ground, which is also on the other side. Okay, we'll use some hot air in a second for that. We'll get messy otherwise. Alright. Who of you have ever used drag soldering on SMD parts? I wonder. Tell me. Alright. We don't want to use this one now, we want to use one of these. Okay. First, some hot air for the smaller parts. And it will usually get to the center of the pads automatically because of surface tension. Sometimes I help a bit with the tweezers. Alright, now for the resistant networks here. These are, most of these are for the joystick interface, but some are for configuration bits. So it's important that they are soldered on, if they don't fly away. We'll put them in correct place in a second. We do need the dip switch for configuration, otherwise the interface won't boot up. Will be disabled. That's not soldered on. I'm burning some cardboard, as you can see, and that's not a big deal. Alright, these are on. I think we're done. Yes, just one thing that I forgot a second ago with this soldering iron. And that's these two SMD parts here, which are important. One is for reset, the other is for buffering the frequency volts signal on the CPLD. And for some reason this won't. I need to heat it up again. The CPLD, this one here is still not correctly located, centered. That's spot on. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Almost done. And again, if I can't do much or any repair, then I will go on tomorrow, I guess from the morning already, because I have the time. Also, I can live stream some things like producing the ZX HDs. I'm not sure if I did that already before, so if you want to see that, let me know, because I have to make them as well. And as I told in the previous video about how I manage my work, that's what I try to keep up with at least, so I won't have backlogs in all categories. Still have to do some email. I think I got something like 80 emails waiting and a lot of Facebook messages as well. I hope people are not complaining about that. We'll work on that later, but at least the production is about catched up. Right, so the last part is that new ROM chip. I really hope I did it correctly, but I did check if the pinout is corresponding to the data sheet, and that was correct, so it should work. looks different with this chip on it. I will show you in a second. For some reason I always like boards to look clean. And I don't think I'm the only one. I don't like boards where the parts are orientated in several ways and not placed aligned. I like aligning chips if it's possible, just for the look of it. At least it looks as someone has put thought to it. Doesn't necessarily work better when it's laid out better, but I like it when it looks better. Right, I think we got about all parts on that are required for this interface to work, except for the edge connector obviously, and maybe an SD card connector. Let me check if there are no bridges. Maybe I should just use some IPA to clean it up, which will make it look a lot better. I think I will do that. I like that. First, let me check if everything is connected and there are no bridges. I don't see any, but or is there a bridge? There might be a bridge there, so I have to redo one part of the CPLD chip here. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Nice. Alright, what do you think, guys? What is the chance of this board working correctly? We'll put the soldering iron off for a second and do some IPAing. IPAing, is that English? IPAing. I will call it English. Will smell nicely in here in a second, if you like the smell of IPA. If you don't, it's no problem to you because you're just watching, you cannot smell this. Or maybe I should reflow the 10K networks as well. I will check that in a second. Maybe they're soldered on correctly, but it's always good to check that. And of course I need some buttons, and for that I got something new as well. This looks a lot cleaner. I like it. Right, was there a serial number on this? No, so I got to put in a new one. I'm checking the resistor networks because they have 8 contacts each, but they look to be soldered on just fine, so I don't think that's a problem. So, some remaining parts for now. We'll get one SD card connector. I will get a dip switch. I just got a new one in. These can be quite expensive if you buy them from a well-known supplier. So I buy them in China and I test all of them, which I do with about everything I buy from China nowadays. Because sometimes the dip switches don't work properly. Alright. Of course, switches, I'm using the 5mm ones now. Because... oh, I don't have them in 5mm. Ah, that's too bad. I need to order them. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I now have a other solution I can show you. I have a different solution for putting the caps on. And it works just perfectly, if you ask me, but I need less tall switches. What I use now is a small adapter, which I print. So I print these very tiny tactile switch adapters for the red and the blue caps. and that is a lot easier than using adhesive tape or something else. So that's what I wanted to show you, but I don't have the 5mm in SMD type for this board, so I cannot do that now. What I can do is solder the remaining parts on from this IKEA kit, and if we've done that, we can flash the CPLD chips, then we can flash the ROM on the ZX Spectrum, and thumbs up that it all works. Let me check the chat. Hey Emre, good afternoon. Chips are working with smoke. No, I don't smoke, and the chips should not smoke. They stop working. Chips are working with smoke. Oh wow. Yeah, some do. Let me check. Oh my god, lots of chats. I have to scroll up. Franco. Let's see what else. 85 inch. Oh my god. I only have 55. Yours is bigger than mine. You are writing a machine code game. Cool. On the ZX81, I like that. Not on the 81, I don't get it. Oh, on a machine then, I guess. A PC or something. Cross how do you call it? I don't know. Can you zoom in a bit? Yeah, I can. I'm not sure if it will stay sharp, but we'll check it out. Oh, that's the wrong way. Hello. Is this better? Is this what you want? This is my hand, by the way. Hello. It's less sharp. Maybe I can sharpen it a bit. I can sharpen it. Yeah, let's put it this way. Okay. So you can see a little more, but otherwise the camera is in the way. I don't have a overview camera at this moment. We'll get one later. Sound effects add-on. Cool. Yes, please, Ben. What do you see? Yes, please do. Oh, it's about the ZX HD production, I guess. Let me know. I should really chat more often. 98%. Would it work as good? Oh, there's 98% chance. 87. Guys, you don't trust me. Tastes better than it smells. I wouldn't taste burnt chips. Emre has faith in me. Thank you, Emre. I think it was 4 washes with IPA and 3 soap baths to clean up the Harlequin I built. Oh well, it's nice. I use loads of IPA when I clean up a Harlequin board. It's normal. I don't use soap, but I do use IPA. If you use enough IPA, you can get it perfectly clean. Just be careful and ventilate a lot. It's important. Hey, Jin Luigi. USB floppy to ZX. Oh, interesting. Oh, you're using Arduino. Cool. Interesting. Tons of problems. Yeah, I guess. Are you, Jin Luigi? Are you going to try to develop a 34-pin to USB interface, or something that can be connected to a ZX Spectrum directly? I'm curious about that. It would be interesting. Anyway, let's get this board working. So I could solder on a SD card slot as well on the back, but we won't do that right now because there's no need to. I just want to know if this board works. I was looking for more Raspberry Pi Zeros yesterday, not the second version but the first one, which is extremely hard to obtain at the moment. Moroni has them in stock, but I can only order one at a time. I asked if I could buy more. I always try that, of course, but not at this moment because they're not made a lot, maybe a couple of thousands spread out worldwide, so that's not a lot. But I found a shop in Switzerland which allows to buy them by 20 at a time. The problem only is that I cannot buy there because they don't ship to Holland. So if someone from Switzerland could order 20, I might be interested. I do have to check the price because including double shipping, so shipping to someone in Switzerland and then forwarding it to Holland. It will become a lot more expensive. I guess over 20 euro a board, from what I saw, which might be too much. Otherwise I have to increase the price with this ZXSD including the Raspberry Pi again, and I don't want to do that. So I'm really hoping there will be another solution, but I'm not sure. I have to check. And otherwise I really have to do something to get Imre working on the implementing firmware for the Raspberry Pi 02, but I know he's busy, so I won't ask him too much. But maybe you can ask, guys, because he's here. Sorry. Oh, maybe you will not talk to me again. I don't know. The edge connector I will do with this lead-free solder because it's better for the environment, you know. I like to eyeball these connectors. The Raspberry Pi 2 is hard to get as well and also expensive, so it's not a real proper solution for the problem of not be able to obtain Raspberry Pi 0, the first one. But also the 02 might open up possibilities to implement sound, for example, but it will take time. So hence we do want to get over to the Raspberry Pi 02, but all in time. It's a 4-core system on a chip, and the 0 is just a single core one, so it's quite different. Right, that was quick. Edge connector. I'm going to ventilate a bit here. Might get noisy. Oh, sorry, I'm bumping the camera again. Switzerland is no EU. Yeah, I know. VAT is not an issue. VAT, I can deduct VAT, so that's not a big deal. I'm just wondering if I should put the invoice on my name. That is something that needs to be discussed. If someone is willing to order one. Yeah, but I ship to Switzerland. It's no big deal. You can just handle VAT. It's just that they do not ship to Holland directly. Maybe I should send them an email. Right. So before continuing doing anything else, I will put a serial number on it because I serialize loads of interfaces these days, and this one mainly because I like to keep track on how many I made. Where? Yeah, here. I know, Emre. I'm just joking. Don't push Emre. Guys, do not send him messages now. Don't tell him that he should finish his garage. Don't push him too hard. He has a family too. So do not do that. Do not ask him. Oh, it's a huge drop of ink here. Paint. This is the best paint for writing on labels because it sticks on even with alcohol, so that's perfect. 1143. So I made 1143 Pro 1s so far, and I made a lot more of the older versions already. Today it's 29th of January and now it's 1143. Alright. It's independent of Europe. It's not independent of the European Union, I think. Although I have to always put some customs labels on the package. It's smeared out a bit. That's no big deal. All right, I think we're done with assembling this board. I'm double checking if I did not forget anything. I don't think so. So we can now get to the other side of the room and it's windy outside, and get the flashing done at that corner there. and I will close the window in a second. I don't think we need power here anymore. This camera is terrible. Right. We got a green light, so that's good. Let's see if it wants to flash forward. If it fails already, then we have a problem, but I guess it will work. It's executing my command, which is good. So far so good. So there's no short, that means the ROM is soldered on correctly. Right. It did flash correctly, so I'm curious. Let me get my ESX firmware utility and the ZX Duo interface, and then I will move the camera to the other side. You can see what I'm doing. It should work, I guess. Will it work? You can see everything I'm doing here. Yeah, I'll zoom out and I will close the window because it's so windy now. This is no fun anymore. Yay, we can see everything. Cool. Emra, I should get to Hungary, man. I should help you out. You've done so much already for me, for all Sinclair enthusiasts. So I can help you with plastering, but that's finished. So unfortunately, I can't do that anymore. Right. So let's see if we can flash the ROM now. Wayne, thank you very much. Yep. Let me see. Alright, nothing on Facebook, so I don't have to check that at this moment. Alright. What do you think? Will this ROM flash or not? If it will, I will be very happy. That means for one that this solution works, and also that the autorouter of Eagle is just perfect, and also that I'm confident in quickly prototyping new board revisions, so that would be cool as well. It doesn't boot up. It must be dirt because everything is fucking correctly. It's just dirt. I have to clean it again. I get this a lot. I use this board so much. So everyone is still holding his breath, I guess. It's dirty. Oh. Do the cover of a gas meter? Wow. It's really windy. I was in a t-shirt outside today because I went to play some squash, and I didn't have a sweater nearby, so I just got out. It was cold. And then I get my pain in my back, I guess because of the cold. I don't know. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's good enough. That's what I want. It's not flashing. No. Why not? Why is it not flashing? And why is the red LED switching on? Is there a solder bridge maybe? Oh, that's not good. Okay, let me check. Okay, something is wrong. First I'm going to do a check if the dip switches are not shorting or something, because it shouldn't do anything. Just should nothing here. Let me check if there are still maybe a solder bridge that I didn't notice, because there's no reason why it's not working at this moment, as far as I know. Maybe the 10K resistors are not soldered on properly, so I might have to redo them. But other than that, I don't see clear problems. So I wonder what this could be. I don't see a reason for it. Let me put the camera at the soldering desk. Hello. Oh. Right. So. Release the smoke monster. No. Right. We'll get it working. But something is not right. It shouldn't do strange things like it did. First I'm going to check if there might be a problem with the dip switches. So I'm going to try to solder off the dip switch itself, if the temperature is done yet, not yet. Just wait guys, just wait. We'll get there. This is normal. It always never works at the first attempt. My best guess for now is that it's the resistor networks, we'll see. But you see how quick time flies when you're doing something like this, because I think we're in something like an hour already. Where is the... I cannot see it, I don't know. I can see it. I think something like an hour, and the time flies. Okay, let me check if it has something to do with this resistor network. I don't think so, but let me just reflow it because it didn't do that after I used the hot air. And it's no problem to leave the dip switch off for now, because for when flashing everything needs to be disabled. Right. But I know that I saw something that could be a problem at this side here. I'm not sure if those contacts are really required or do have anything to do with the configuration of the interface. Not only the joystick side of it, but we'll see. And of course, there's still a slight chance that it has to do with heat, heating up the. I think it's still not connected. There's one pin not connected. I guess that must have to do with the problem. It could be the heat of, when using the hot air gun, and maybe damaged one of the chips. That happens from time to time. Not often. They can handle it mostly. But this board already has been in the reflow oven, so has gotten some heat already. I'm just going to reflow the main CPLD, which controls the SD card, and ROM and RAM. How's the noise from the extraction hood? Can you hear it? Is it bad? Or not too bad? Alright, that's on. One pin a little higher than the other one, so maybe that is a bad contact. And it looks like it because it's not making a short or something, and it could just be a non-connected pin somewhere. Now we've got another bridge at this side. Right, I think it should work. And if it doesn't, I suspect the SRAM chip. But we'll see. Let me check if there's no short on the dip switch pads here. Nope, it's a bit dirty. Alright. We can test it again. Nice. Okay, the fan is not too loud. Nice. Yes, it's a SD card interface, so there's a new revision with another EEPROM chip on it because the normal ones are really hard to obtain. Let me move the camera again. I really should do it this way. Okay, let's see. And it should boot up without an issue. So I now select this one. It should boot up because there's no room selected. So the CPLD is not messing it up in any way. So let's see if we can flash it now. Oh no. No! Okay. So what can we do? There are a couple of things we can try. I think the first one is removing the SRAM chip and putting a new one on. It could be damaged, could just be failing, I don't know. The other thing we can do is remove this EEPROM chip and put the original on, so this one here, to see if the board is working like has been designed, because I don't know that yet, it's a new design, you know. So let's get the SRAM chip off first. That's my best guess. That's from experience, what I see on the screen. So if the SRAM chip is the culprit, then this should solve it. If not, then we're going to check the ROM. And maybe these chips are not working properly, I don't know. Maybe that could be it, because this is the first time I'm using these. I got them from a reliable supplier, so I suspect that they're not working, but could be several things still wrong here. Maybe I didn't check the pin out correctly. That could be something as well. I don't know. So let's first get this one out. I'm going to reuse solder because that's the easiest with this chip here. Right. That looks fine. So, I'm going to move around again. Let's see. Nope. This is really a ROM signal, so I don't know what's wrong. Could it be the CPLD or is it the EEPROM? I don't know. Well, we'll see about it in a second. I'm not completely sure what it is. Alright. I'm suspecting the CPLD chip. So I'm going to swap that as well. Refresh it and see if it's done that. It's really hard to tell. Because if the ROM is not working, it will just get back to basic and say okay, with problems obviously, but this is not what I expect from a bad ROM. We'll see. Cable. Spot the cable. Right. So I'm not sure, but maybe the CPLD chip died because of the heat. Has been heated up 2 times now, so maybe that's it. Again, as I said, I had seen this something like that before, but I'm still not sure. It did flash correctly, but it doesn't mean that the chip is completely in fully working order. I'm not giving up. It's broken. No, I don't know what is broken. The interface is broken, but I don't know which part. You can fix everything if you know what is actually not working correctly. So that's one thing you can do with this video. You can learn what each part does. Right, new chip is on. Don't think there are solder bridges, but let me check. Okay. Right, let me flash it on the other side of the room. Right, flashing again. Right. Well, I'm not sure if this will solve it, but let's see what it does. I was thinking of that, Mark. No, still not working. So we'll get the ROM up and we'll see if the ROM is the culprit, and then have to dig in why this ROM is not working on this board. But anyway, please guys, come on. Commodore 64 is cool as well. If you swap all the bits out, it will work usually. Yeah, I do that from time to time if it's really not clear what is not working. So we'll have to, unfortunately, we have to get the newer type ROM off, which I don't like, but it's nothing. It's something I should wait too long with. I just want to know if the board works. And otherwise, I have to get back into Eagle and see what I did wrong. If it doesn't work with the normal ROM, then we have a completely different problem. But now the main question is there something wrong with this ROM chip, or is it the pinout or wiring on my design? I don't know that, so we have to see about it later on. Loads of bridges here, so we have to remove them first. Usually bridges are really useful, but not on boards. We don't want them. Right. So, would it work then with this ROM chip? It's the same chip but another package, so it's a pity the other one doesn't want to work yet. We'll figure it out later, but just hope the ROMs are still working, because otherwise I have them in stock for nothing. I'm also going to finish the design of this board with a dual online ROM chip on it, so a big one with full holes. And I don't want to do that, but since I can also obtain those chips more easily and cheaper, I'm also going to make that version of the board. The only issue is that there's no way of keeping all the parts at the same place as I did with this chip. So if I want to use the full version of the chip, then I need to remove a lot of parts, and that means new stenciling, new configuration of the pick and place, and it's a lot of work, but if I need to do it, I will do it, because it's just work. And there's still a solder bridge on the location of the old chip, the pads. I hope it's gone now. Yes. Alright. Let's see what it does. Oh, Anthony, come on. You're making people mad. I like the Sinclair computers more, but I still want to work on Commodore 64 as well in the future when I have time. Add-ons mainly. It's exactly the same. So what is failing here? What could be failing? Okay, I'm going to do one more check. And oh, I'm bumping the camera again. The check I'm going to do is if there's something wrong with no, that can't be the case, sorry. With the circuit on the dip switch, but that can't be the case. Stop rotating. How it could be the case here? What could be the problem? Is there another part not soldered on correctly? Did I swap parts accidentally? I don't know. Is there something on the edge connector maybe? Nope. So it's not clear to me what could be wrong here. The only thing I see is that one resistor is not soldered on correctly, but I don't think that's the issue. So I don't know. What could it be? Let me just check the schematic and see if there's actually something wrong with, for example, the that resistor. Could that be the cause? I want to know before I solder it back on. Let me check. So I'm opening the schematic now, and no, that is only for the LEDs. It's not important for the functioning of the interface. Well, what could it be then? I don't know. So I have to do some debugging, I guess. Maybe I can show you. Yeah, I think so. I can show you the schematic. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. It's IP, you know. Hey, why is my camera not working? This camera is not working anymore. That's odd. Can I reset that? Let me check. You know. All right. Let's check. Ben and time. What? Someone asked me about time. Interesting, Franco, sorry. About a toast rack. All right. Yeah, I don't know what. Oh, save. Yeah, I don't know what could be wrong at this point. I have to keep digging. I really have no idea. What could it be? Maybe it's the joystick interface. Maybe that chip is messing it up because it's using some of the signals that the SD card interface uses as well. So if the chip is not functioning correctly, that could be a cause of problems. What I could do is just get it from the board. Let me see if that's a solution for this problem, maybe. Yeah, I think so. If it is a problem, then that could help with solving it. The only issue is that I have, if this could be a problem, then there could be more parts, like one of the transistors here. But let me just try this. We are trying now. We're in the trying stadium. All right. Because what is it looks like it's paging in the EEPROM, and I don't see any reason why it's doing that. it's trying to page in the EEPROM, and there's nothing in this EEPROM. It's empty, so it's showing vertical lines, but there are moving vertical lines. So it's really looking like it's trying to page in the EEPROM without, and it should not do that at this moment. So if that's the case, it could be one of the transistors that's controlling the ROM signals directly. Maybe one of those is damaged because of the heat. So we could just replace those. So first let me check if this works. If not, we can do the transistors, and after that I'm going to have dinner. Let me check if there are no solder bridges. Nope. Let me do a quick test. Quick test, because I just want to know if it works, otherwise I have to put the camera back again. No, we don't want to keep doing that, or do we? That's still the same issue. Well, I really have the feeling that maybe one of those transistors is then messing it up. So let me check. We have a ROM CS1, which is the RQ3, and there's another one that's not really important at this moment. So let me get that single one off. I can see which one it is, so we'll get both off. It's one. It's two. I will get two new ones for this. Maybe even I could have swapped the transistors with the ones from the LEDs, but I don't think so. But maybe I did, and I don't think so. Let me just try this, and I don't think the analog switch could be a cause. No, doesn't do anything with this board. So let's see. Okay, we've got two new transistors. So for the last attempt, I'm going to move the camera once again. Stop turning. Okay, it's because of the cable that's connected to it. I'm really curious. Will this solve it? Oh, on the camera again. Sorry. Will this make a difference, or will it not? No, still the same. I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm curious. What could be wrong? So what I will do is measure all the pins from the CPLD and the ROM. See if there's anything wrong there. I didn't do any changes to the schematic. I only added this chip, and then I used the outer router, which did all the wiring with the tracks on the board. So I don't know what this could be, but I'm sure I will figure it out, and once I will tell you. For now, this is the time that I had, so I'm going downstairs. I still forgot the resistor, but that could not be the cause because it's not doing anything when flashing. I will give it a try anyway, but electronic circuits can do odd things sometimes. Oh no! It was the resistor! I feel so stupid. It was the stupid resistor. It's flashing now. God, Franco, your 5% means nothing. Alright, so we have to get back. I'll switch it off because I want to get the other ROM working now. Oh, and I want to get dinner, but anyway, my family just needs to wait. I think we had the chicken and some other stuff. God, I feel stupid. It was a stupid resistor. Who guessed that? I really didn't expect that that could do anything with the circuit. What? I really don't know why this resistor could do anything. I have no idea. But it did solve the problem. What should I just put the other ROM back? I want to do. I have some confidence now that it will work. But from the schematic, that resistor shouldn't mess it up. So I actually don't know what happened. Anyway. Oh god. I feel kind of stupid because I really thought that the resistor couldn't make any change. What? What on earth? Anyway. Okay, let's try the other ROM. I don't get it. I'm thinking what it could be. We'll check the schematic once again in a second, because I really want to know why this resistor could mess up. What just happened? I really don't know. Okay. No bridges on the chip because the pitch of the pins is quite larger than the other chip, the other ROM chip. Okay. This is so strange. Okay. Right. I really don't know why this resistor could have done what it did. And if it really was a resistor, then this ROM now also might work. Still can't believe it. I will check it again in a second. I want to know. Two pins that are not really connected properly, so I'm doing it again. Yeah. Okay. Let me check the schematic again. Yeah. I need to hit it with a hammer. Oh, okay, let me check. So that resistor is only to light up an LED. And there's a signal on a base of a transistor to actually make that possible, but I don't see the reason why this could cause this problem. I don't know. I really don't. Odd. Really odd. Anyway, let's try this again. Let's see if it will work with the other ROM now as well. Alright. I don't know. I just don't know. Will it work or not? I don't know. No, it's the same again. You see. Alright. What is the problem here? Is there anything else wrong? Is it this board maybe? It's messing it up. Let's try it. Around that. what I will do is I will, not now, but I will put the other ROM that worked back on this board later on and see if we can get the interface working fully. And if that works, then I know there's something wrong with this chip or the pinout of this chip, and I need to solve that. I need to check the data sheet again and see if I did anything wrong, but at this moment I have no idea. I don't know. So, no success yet. I have to figure it out, but I will do that later. I hope you had fun, guys. I did. I like getting through these kinds of challenges. I will solve it, I'm sure of that. The question is if this board is has a fault in the design. I will need to check that, of course, and if it does, I might have to order new boards, or maybe if it's just one track or two, I have to I could just try to manually modify the board and get it working, but we'll see about that. Not now, unfortunately, sorry, but I will be back tomorrow. I think I will finish this board, and I will try to finish it, of course, and you will see the results in the next video tomorrow. So if you have time, you're welcome tomorrow, and I hope you liked it, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.